Good morning, my Teaser King family. How is everybody today? So, how's everybody today? I am fine. I hope you're having a good day. Looking at gold and silver, seeing what's going on. Gold, the 10 o'clock dump went down $40, and now it's back to 40.21. And again, why? Makes no sense. Silver, roughly 58. Again, down a dollar. Why? It makes no sense. A lot of it is they're trying to buy it, but they're trying to get out of options, but that doesn't work. They've already, I assume, got out of options. The government wants you in stocks before they crash. Um, there's not much there. 40.22, 57.89. So it's the same thing. July 4th is Saturday. Let's see what happens. I was going to sell my ounce, but I'll wait till next Monday, I guess, unless I see a 4,243. And in the long run, it doesn't matter if I sell it for 4,200 or 4,500. What's $300? The 4,000 is the key point. So I just went to the bank and covered my rent. So I only needed a few $100s. It's not like I have to pay the whole rent. I have the rent from Social Security, but I always run into a couple hundred I need. So I put that in. So that's taken care of. I'll pay rent tomorrow. My credit card hits Friday. Off we go. I get Social Security early this month because the first is a Wednesday. It's the second Wednesday of the month, which will be the 8th, and I get it on the Monday. I get early payment. So I actually get it on the 6th, which is good. And like, give it to me. Fine. Thank you. I know I have it. And that's the most important. So the bank was fine. I keep telling the girl, buy gold. Buy your gold, buy your silver. That's the key to it. What's going on with my hair? Um, so she plays along with me. She says, yeah, I'm buying. So anyway, I'm glad I can still go into the bank, hand the money. They take it, goes into my account, and I cover everything. So that's a good thing. Let me make sure she hit the right account. Yeah, 30. Okay. Yeah, she hit the checking. That's fine. I do everything in the checking. I have like $50 in my savings. And that's it with the bank. Everything else, gold and silver and my cards. So I did that, and then I went to the grocery store because I bought a steak at my steak grocery store on Saturday. I usually like to do that for Saturday night dinner. I do that. I'll go out Friday night or Sunday night, but Saturday I like to get a steak and cook it and watch. Usually I'm watching football Saturday afternoons. And then I got 2 pounds of hamburger. So I needed, but I want to make sloppy Joe. So I had to get the tomato paste and the sloppy Joe mix. So I go to Myers for that. So I go get it. And I see a Fago guy, Fago Pop. I start talking to him. Boy, I wish you'd have. I'm glad you have grape. I really like it, diet grape. I says, I wish you'd carry the 2 liter grape. Well, it's not up to me. Well, yeah, it is. Then I start talking about economics, and this will go into my title. And we start talking, and I go, well, it's why do you think they can't sell Coke at $3 a bottle, a 2 liter? Because it's over market. So I start explaining market to him. What a waste of time. So I start talking. I says, well, it's all about what we're willing to pay for. Well, prices are going up. Well, no, prices only go up if we'll pay for it. We don't want to pay for it. And that's why I took him to the Coke section. I says, look, it's $2.99. Nobody buys it. It's 2 for $5. That's what people buy it for. Why they don't just make the price $2.50, I have no idea. Where they trying to psychologically get you to buy 2 bottles at $2.50 instead of the 1 bottle you'd buy at $2.50, but you would sell it. So I'm eating cherries, so I put the pits in one of his empty containers. Now I used to stack the pop and the beer at Farmer Jack's, and all you do with the the cardboard that you took the cans and the 2 liters out, all you do is put it in the dumpster, and you crush it. Right, that's all you do with it. And he says, "Well, is this your cherries? I don't don't put your cherries in there." And he says, "Well, you're kind of bothering me." So I, of course, told him to go fuck off, go fuck yourself. And I walked away. And it's just, that's when it hit me. People are idiots right now. And if they have no interest or you're talking over their head, they don't want to hear it. Even if they learn from it, even if they ask, well, what's your background? I could say I'm an economist. Maybe that would get them to listen. But he just was like, you're bothering me. Dude, you're not even pricing them. You're putting up little bottles and cans on the fucking shelf. So you can't concentrate in putting up bottom. Now, I used to do this for 5, 6 years. Don't tell me if somebody wanted to talk to me, I'd be happy to talk to them. And it hit me. This is the problem. You can tell people about gold and silver, or health, or what a market is, and a lot of economic stuff, and they don't know, and they have no interest. And but they're rude about it. You're bothering me. How am I bothering you? By talking to you? That bothers you? I thought that was insane. You're a fucking, you're putting pop on shelves. You're a Rhodes Scholar, right? You even have college degree, or maybe it's in what, sociology or history or some teaching or something. You're like, really? You have a degree? And here's somebody like me, and I'm bothering you by bringing up markets and prices, and that's right up what you're doing. So I said, Coke, it'd be nice if you brought in the 2 liter Diet Coke. Well, they order it. I just put it on the shelf. I go, exactly. You're an idiot. I just told them to fuck off and walk. It's like, you're bothering me. Don't put your cherry pits in my empty box that I'm going to throw in the garbage. How do I carry your garbage? Yeah, okay. I don't want to buy your product either. So it just dawned on me. Now, earlier, I was in the veggie aisle buying my cauliflower and my broccoli, and I was talking to some old lady, and she was very interested. We were talking about fasting, and we were talking about the veggies and not eating the sugar, and just about health stuff because we're in the veggie aisle. I says, you just don't eat sugar and carbs, and you're fine. And I said, I do my fasting. She says, be careful. Fasting's not good for you. I go, no, it's great for you. I do drink. I just don't eat. And she said, well, you can get dehydrated. Well, no, I drink plenty of water. I just don't eat anything for 2 or 3 days. And I stay away from high fructose corn syrup and sugar. And that keeps me pretty healthy. So we had a nice talk about that. And she said, oh, it was a pleasure talking to you and everything. This is some lady in her 80s or something. And then you start thinking about the different correlation. Like, she enjoyed the conversation, and she's more 70, 80-ish. And the guy, I'm bothering him. So somebody talks to you, is bothering you while you put up fucking plastic bottles and cans on a shelf for Fago, and I'm bothering you. Really. And this is the problem. You try helping people, and if they're not interested in it, you're bothering them. I don't care about it. I'm like, okay, fine. When you go broke because you don't have gold and silver, go fuck yourself. And this is the problem. You work at Fago. You make $10 an hour putting pop on shelves at grocery stores, which I did when I was 16 years old. Don't talk. I'm bothering you. I thought it was insulting, and then I'm realizing the source. These kids today are just idiots. They have nothing. And so this is why it's hard for us to talk gold with people. We get frustrated. Like we have the golden ticket, or we have the goose that lays the golden egg, and it's gold. And we want to tell people, buy gold, buy gold. It'll save you. And nobody cares. We're bothering them because they don't have the interest or capacity to learn anything. The other thing I feel is, who am I? Well, yeah, but who are you? I don't know who you are. Why should I listen to you? So if, you know, let's say you didn't know who Egon was, and he walks into the store and he starts talking to you. I don't know you. I'm not going to listen to you. Or Mark McGuire or somebody like that, Alligator. Oh, I don't know you. I can't listen to you. Da, 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 da. I mean, it's just retarded. It's absolutely the strangest thing I've ever seen. I probably in our days growing up, and somebody would talk to us, we would like it. And then if they can explain it, you should buy gold. Why? Okay, and at least listen to the explanation, and then it might be good or bad for you. Don't eat sugar; it'll kill you. Why? Because it's bad for you. The sugar, the high fructose corn syrup, the carbs are bad for your health. At least you get the explanation. So we're talking about prices, and I says, well, the price is controlled by me. I don't want to pay $3 for a 2-liter Coke, so they got to lower their price. You're okay at 99 cents for a little 20-ouncer. I mean, that's how you see these 20-ounce Cokes and Pepsis at the gas stations, and they're like $2.50 for 20 ounces. And you just scratch your head, and this is the problem. And here at the grocery store, the guy, I'm bothering him, or oh, well, why didn't you say something? And I'm going to tell you to go fuck off. I'm bothering you. I'm trying to help you. You're too stupid to even see that. An older guy who's talking prices and markets, and that is way over your head because you just put bottles on shelves. You're too stupid to have any type of conversation, because it's not hard to put bottles on shelves at a grocery store. I know, I've done it. And so that's where really our problem is. We'll try to help people, like Bobby with his kids, and the daughter going, well, we can't go to the grocery store with gold and silver, so therefore it's useless. And Bobby had a hard time explaining to his daughter, well, the dollar is not, we're not going to be able to take the dollar to the grocery store soon. And it's not like you take the gold to the grocery store. Like I said, I'm going to go soon and cash in an ounce of gold for Monopoly money. I don't want to, but I need Monopoly money to pay a little bit more. I'm about $200-300 short each month from Social Security. And so that's what I need, a couple $100 there, a birthday, Daria's birthday, Alyssa. I need to come up with, $100 to give them. And I don't have in the bank. I don't have anything except for Social Security, which I pay rent and my bills. And so the loose money is all in gold and silver, or my Mantle cards, which I'd rather have them in that than have them in dollars, because the dollar has no value. So I understand the game. I make money. We make money, on our revenue from football and now baseball, and from the gold and silver going up. So if gold goes from, it's at 40.26 now, we're making a move. If it goes to 4,100 from 4,000, we've made $100 times 100 ounces. We've made $10,000. That's how we make money. That's our job. And we just watch gold go up. When it hits 20,000, we make a lot of money. That's our job, and we don't pay a nickel in tax on it. That's the beautiful part of it. That's probably why they don't want you in gold, and they don't want you in silver. Not only that, you don't pay tax on it. There's no interest income or dividend income, and and it can't be inflated, It can't lose its value. I'm listening to a few idiots on YouTube this morning, and they just prices going up. That's inflationary. No, 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 it isn't. Well, it's money printing, but then prices go up. That's inflationary. And hyperinflation is when people think that the price is going up, so they want to buy it ahead of time. Well, that's hyperinflation, but that's caused by money printing. And people just don't get it. Money printing ruins the value of the dollar, period. That's all. There's no CPI, there's no prices, nothing. It's your dollar's worthless. That's the inflation. And they don't get it. It just blows your mind. You're just like, you guys are doing finance shows and economic shows. You don't even know their economics, and you're doing it. And your thought is, well, prices going up is inflation, or wages. Your wages don't go up. Your wage is done by the market. You got to understand what a market is. That's what the wage is. How much does a senior financial analyst like me with a master's and experience at GM, Ford, and Mercedes make? And that's what I get paid, is what that value is. And the value is X and Y. It's about 100,000. It should be 150,000 for what I can do, but they won't pay me that. So, okay, I take what I can get. And the company looks at it as, what value do you give? And they give more value now to AI people or IT people than finance people, which is fine. Whatever my value is what I'm worth. But that's how wages. There's no inflation in that. There's no wage inflation. Your wages are supposed to go up or down. No, that's what the market does. It determines what we're gonna pay you, a senior analyst, masters, Mercedes. You're gonna make $100,000. That's the market. It's got nothing to do with the money being printed to zero. How does that correlate to that? And all the prices, as I was just arguing with the guy, is based on what the market will pay. And he kind of made a comment, well, prices are going up. I go, no, they're not. Only if we'll let him. Coke's $3. Nobody buys it. So prices actually went down to two for $5. You try to raise your Faygo prices to $3 and you'll never sell a bottle. Nobody cares about Faygo. It's just the price is better than Coke. And that's what it is. And it's just like with steaks. I bought a New York strip for $13. It's the market setting it. Nobody's going to pay 21. We'll pay 13. That's where the market's at. So I tried to explain it like, this is the market, and this is what you're trying to sell it for. You can't. There's nobody there to buy it. And that's when I started losing him. I could see he wasn't like following, and I'm like, son, you'll never get this information from anybody else, and you just want to ignore it. Good day. The old lady listened more than the guy did. So I think that's the problem with kids today. They think they know everything, and they don't want to listen and learn. They don't want to learn because they know everything. I don't know where they get that from. Public school is terrible. College is terrible. They're not learning anything. Again, you're working at Faygo, putting pop on shelves. If I were you, I'd start listening. I don't know. It's just me. But if this is where I got after high school and college or whatever the fuck you did, and you're making $10 an hour putting pop on shelves, I might listen. Or maybe you're in college. Oh, well, I might listen to a master's guy. At least have the knowledge to ask, well, what's your background? It's like, why should I listen to you? Or it's even worse, is I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm not interested in what you're telling me. And this is the big problem. So you're talking to them, and it's like, they don't even go, who are you? I'm not interested. I'm not going to listen. Well, you're bothering me. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody and they said you're bothering them? I worked at the grocery store a long time. I never once had that conversation where I said to somebody, you're bothering me. I'd put up I do my job, put the bottles up, maybe talk to them for a minute or two, and then say, I got to go get more Coke out of the back room, something like that. But But if somebody started talking to me about gold or markets, I'd be listening very intently. That's how I understand all this economics is I learned very intently, listened very intently to the teacher who was an Austrian economist. And what he said made sense. I mean, otherwise, how do you learn anything if you don't want to listen and learn? I wanted to learn. I took all my notes, which I still show you, as much as I can. And it's just baffling that you don't want to learn, or is that you don't know who I am, so you don't want to listen to me, or I don't know what I'm talking about, so you don't want to listen to me, or you're a Keynesian and you don't want to hear it. I know at the club I'll bring up gold. They don't want to. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to admit that their 500,000 in their 401k is worthless. My friend Scott comes on once in a while from Florida, and he's I think he's starting to understand only because somebody else is telling him what I'm telling him, and now he's listening. When I told him he wasn't interested. I got my 401k and my retirement. It's not worth anything. But he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to admit that he's broke. And again, I put that in a few headlines. The US dollars, the US is bankrupt. It is. And people don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to put my head in the sand and not listen to it. I'd have loved to tell the Fago guy that, you know what you're working for? Nothing. You get a paycheck, it's worth nothing. Unless you Rumpelstiltskin in the gold and silver, it's worth nothing. You're working for nothing. We've got the best job. Just buy gold and silver and just sit back and let it go. And okay, this is a little bullshitty now. 40, 22, 57, 89. It's a little bullshitty. We get that. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting that these kids today are so arrogant or stupid, I guess, to not really understand. They're too stupid to really understand what's going on, or they think what they've been taught is good. Well, my teacher told me this, so I won't question him. And I find that to be incredibly stupid. So, questions, comments on that? I just, I like to share those things with you because I'm sure you get frustrated because you talk gold. We know it's the only out. It's the only lifeboat. We know that. We will be fine with our gold and silver. Yeah, it's been pushed down a little, but we know that's not going to last. We see this $20,000 Liberty Eagle on July 5th or July 4th. How do you market 20,000 when gold's 4,000? Or are you going to make gold 20,000? Silver 1,500. Who's going to buy this stuff? What idiot would pay $20,000 for something that is not, there's no market for that. There's no market for this gold. This gold at 4,022, there's no market for it. This is paper delusion. Right? This is COMEX banking, shorting it, price fixing it down to 4022. There's no market for it. Thus, with physical gold, and we don't want to sell our gold for 4,022. We don't want to sell it for 20,020. We don't want to sell it at all if it means getting back into monopoly money. Now, if you bring out new money backed by gold like BRICS is doing, then we'll think about selling an ounce or two. Only if we're getting gold and silver. And that's the point. Here, we're not getting anything. So why would I, again, I need monopoly money. Otherwise, I wouldn't be selling it. Again, for birthdays, if I want to go play poker, something where I need monopoly money, then I want to have it. Because basically, I can't go play poker now. I don't have $300 to play with. I don't have it in the bank because I pay rent and a card, and that's it. I have no money for any of that. So that's one reason I got to sell my gold. But that's where it's at. But the real market is not 4,022 for gold. It's much higher because we don't know what the real market is. We only know this paper price fixed market. We do not know what the real value of it. So when the guy puts the Fago on the shelf, it's 90 cents for the 20-ounce diet grape. All right, it's 90 cents. I buy it. That's the market. He's willing to sell it for 90. I'm willing to buy it for 90. Do we have that in gold? Is anybody willing to sell it for 4,022? Well, these coin guys are, and I'm willing to buy it, but that's not the market. The market, where are they getting the 4022 from? They're watching Comex. These people who run these stores are idiots. So anyway, as far as I'm concerned, we're retired. We have our gold and silver. It will protect us. I hear stories. Oh, I was in Argentina and we went broke, and my dad went broke, and all the fiat currency went to zero. Well, you don't need to tell us that. We see it in Rome. We saw it in Germany. It happens a lot because governments print the money to death, and they don't think if they think if they keep printing it, it won't go to zero, but it does. And it's not too much money chasing too few goods. It's the money gets printed to zero. That's inflation. It has nothing to do with too much money chasing too few goods. I don't know what the fuck that is, Milton Friedman. That is not inflation. It's killing the value of the dollar by printing too much of it. Period. Not chasing goods or not, because the goods, there's so many goods, and then some go out and some new ones come in. When the cell phone comes in, the landline goes out. When the laptop comes in, the desktop goes out. I mean, now when I used to work at like GM, you would have a desktop. You'd have a computer on your desk. Now, when you go to work there, everybody gets a laptop, and you take it home. What happened to all those desktops? Oh, they're gone. It's replaced. So it's not too much money chasing too few goods. It's the money loses value because you printed too much of it. Period. Once you've killed the value of the dollar, that's the inflation. You inflated the money supply. And it's just amazing how nobody understands that. And it's got nothing to do with too much money chasing too few goods. That's why prices are there. So too much money would if everybody wanted to buy, it would lower the price of the goods, which is good. But you can't have too much money if it's backed by gold. Then that argument wouldn't hold water, right? So it's only because you've printed money. There's too much money out there that is not backed by anything. So when you hear this, if you buy stablecoin, you're out of your mind. It's not backed by anything. Oh, it's backed by the dollar. Oh, okay. What's the dollar worth? Nothing, because there's too much that you printed the dollar to death. So to back anything with the dollar is even stupider than thinking the dollar, too much dollars are chasing too few goods. So again, and there's no wage inflation. That's bullshit. There's no such thing as deflation. Prices are prices. If nobody wants the Coke, for the $2 Coke for $2.95 or $3, they lower the price. That's not deflation. That's nobody. There's no demand. The price goes up. That's what a market is, and that's my point on gasoline at the pump. If it goes up, it's the market. It's because the supply went down. It's not inflation. And if nobody wants to buy it, the price goes down because there's no buyers. And that's what we got in a lot of the products. So that's really what's happening. All right, we'll get back to the juicy stuff. All right, let's look at baseball yesterday. Unbelievable. I had the Yankees under 8. The score is 2-0 in the 7th inning, and Sonny Corleone's got a no-hitter going. And he gives up one hit, which is, we're in, I think, the 8th inning now. And talk about a fixed ball game. I don't know which side was fixed. Maybe the under was fixed. It's 2-0. A guy gives up a hit, he takes him out. He hasn't even thrown 100 pitches yet. Nobody can hit him. Why are you taking him out? Next guy comes in. Next thing you know, the game's tied at it's 2-1. Then it goes 2-2, and we go to extra innings. Guys on second, and of course, all of a sudden, he brings in the 5 ERA guys, and we end up losing the under 8 at 9. They end up winning 5-4 because the 10th inning guys are the 6 ERA pitchers. Why did you take Sonny Gray out? He's pitching great. They got one hit on him. Is he tired? No. Why are you taking him out? And immediately goes and takes him out, and he brings in some Joe Schmo. And then Boston brings in Chapman, and it's walk. That was a good move. And he blows the 2-run lead. So anyway, we go to the 10th, 2-2. And I go, okay, just end 3-2. Nope, of course, guy on second. So, of course, it goes 4-2, 5-4. They give up 5 runs, 2 runs in 8 innings, and neither team got more than 2 hits. And all of a sudden, they bring in the bullpens, and there you go. And it ends 5-4. And I couldn't believe I lost the under there. Anyway, Pitt 9-4. We have Pitt over 9, 2 units, W. Washington 6-4. We play Baltimore. It loses. Why? We played Baltimore because of their pitcher was on a win streak. This would have been, well, I'm not sure who it was. Let's see. Who was it? Why did we play Baltimore? It's always the pitching. Oh, Zach Liddell against Bradish. Zach Liddell. He was actually pretty good. He was 5-1. Bradish for Baltimore. I don't know. I can't find him. I don't know. He had won a bunch. Anyway, Liddell with the 5.29 ERA against Bradish with the 3.77. So we played Baltimore and lost. Then we play our Phillies, and they always win for us. Philly wins 5-4 over the Mets. That was a W. Our free play, Tampa Bay. They win 5-1 with Rasmussen. So there's a good free play. The other free play we gave you, Atlanta under 7.5, and we had both the studs going in that game. It was, let's see who it was. It was Robbie Ray, I think, if he's still on Atlanta, San Francisco. It's Chris Sale against Robbie Ray. So it was an under, and under 7.5. It's 3-2. We need more games like that. It was a shit day, and I can't really understand why all these bad pitchers pitched. Houston 7-5 over the Tigers. I loved it. I didn't play it, but it was like 2-0, and next thing I know, it's 4-0, and then it gets tied, or maybe it gets tied at 3. I think it got tied at 3 going into extra innings, and of course in the 10th, Houston 3-run homer, and Detroit gets 2, and it's 7-5. Houston wins. I'm happy, but I don't play the game because I can't figure out Detroit if they're over, if they're under, if you play them or you don't play them. I have no idea. Cleveland beat Seattle 6-5, and we played. We didn't play anybody here. Again, we didn't know with the bullpen guys. I don't know what to do with it. So we hit the Philly, we hit Tampa. The Cubs 4, Milwaukee 3. I don't play this game because I don't know who Woodruff is for Milwaukee, and the Cubs started their bullpen guy, and they win. KC 5, White Sox 4. I play the White Sox. Why do I play the White Sox? I like analyzing. Why did I make that mistake? Avila gives up 6 hits and 4 runs with a 5.40 ERA. against K. I played K, who's good at home with his 4.50 ERA. What blows my mind in this game, KC gives up 6 hits, 4 runs in 4 innings with the Villa. They pull him out, and then you've got 5 bullpen guys with the 5.86, 3.95, 5.40, 5.74, 4.95, and none of them give up a run. I don't understand this. I don't get when you got 6 bad pitchers. 4 of the 6 have ERAs in the 5. One guy's got a 4.95. One guy's got a 4. And yet you give up 4 runs in 4 innings with the starter and nothing with the bullpen. I'm sorry. What these guys stink. These are bullpen guys. Why are you not hitting them? And this is where the betting gets hard. With Mahomes, I got Mahomes. I got him the whole game, every game. I know what I'm going to get. Here, I don't. Avila gives me what I'm going to get. 5.40. He gives up 6 hits, 4 runs. That's what I thought. The bullpen guys, all with 5s, and it's 1 inning, nothing, 1 inning, nothing, 1 inning, nothing. I don't get it. The White Sox, in the meantime, K goes 3 2/3 innings, and with the 4.50 gives up 7 hits and 5 runs, and that's it. And then his 5 bullpen guys with a 4-1, a 4, a 2-1, a 5, and a 5 give up nothing. So the starters in the first 4 innings, it's 5-4, and the next 5 innings, nothing happens. And I'm watching the Yankee Boston, and I'm watching the Boston fall apart. There was a play. There's a guy on first and third, I think, and a guy hits a fly ball to right. The right fielder's supposedly pretty good. Never heard of him. And the guy's trying to throw the ball in the second, throws it over the shortstop's head, and it goes all the way to the dugout. Where's the backup? Nobody's backing up the throw. The runner scores. I think this is first and second. The runner scores from second, and the other guy goes all the way to third, and that's where they got their 2 runs because the guy can't throw the ball to the cutoff man. There was no reason to throw to third. You got a 2-run lead. You're trying to keep the runner on first. So he airmails that and lets the runner score from second and lets the guy go to third, and then he scores on a hit. Anyway, and we're tied. This is Boston's right fielder. And you just look at the manager, and you're like, and you took Sonny Gray out. Why? And the guy came in. It might have been Chapman. It's just like he walked the first 2 guys. You're going to the bullpen, and the guy sucks. Why don't you leave Sonny Gray in? Why are you so – let's look at Sonny Gray. Let's look at the pitch count there. I mean, it's just – the guy's got a no-hitter going, but you feel like you need to take him out after he pitched 7 innings, gives up 1 hit, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, 97 pitches. 97 pitches, and he's not, he's in the 7th inning. Chapman comes in, gives up 1 run. He gives up 1 inning, gives up 1 hit, 2 runs, and a walk. And then Slayton comes in the 10th and gives up 1 hit and 2 runs with a 5.89. So we bring in the 10th inning, we bring in the guy with the 5.89. We can't go Chapman 2 innings. We can't find anybody else in the bullpen to go. Why do they always go to the pig in the 10th inning? The guy with the 5.89 ERA. Anyway, I can't believe it's 2-0 going into the bottom of the 8th, and Sonny Gray's got a no-hitter going, and it goes over. I just can't play. 97 pitches. Again, why are we on a pitch count? Why are we even on a pitch count? And why is it 100? Because analytics says so. Okay, the Philly manager got fired for doing this. Boston's manager is going to get fired pretty soon. If he doesn't, he should. Because what the fuck is he doing? Pitching a no-hitter, and now he gives up 1 hit in the 8th. Does not mean he ran out of juice. They can't hit him. They've got one hit against them. So why would you pull him for Guerrero with a 3.29 ERA, Sonny Gray with a 2.69 ERA? That's the point of the bet. He pitches a no-hitter. How do we lose the under? Because the manager's got his head up his ass. And what do we do with it? And this is why baseball's tough. It's the bullpen and the managers. I just told you the KC White Sox game, and in 5 innings on both sides, 5 different relievers with ERAs in the 4s and 5s, and they throw shutouts. Here I got Chapman with a 2.19 ERA, gives up 1 hit and 2 runs on 1 walk. It's just mind-boggling. All right. Minnesota 3, Colorado 2. I got Colorado over 9. How the fuck does that happen? I got to go through the box scores. Feltner, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs with his 4.42. I'm expecting a lot more hitting and runs on Feltner. And then their bullpen comes in for 2 innings, 3.5, 3.5, and 6.38. And he pitches 1 inning, gets a strikeout, and nobody gets a hit on him. Minnesota, Prelop, 5 ERA, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. And the bullpen comes in to pitch the final 3 innings, a 4.0, a 4.4, and a 1.25, and no runs. How does this game 3-2 when I got a 6 ERA and a 5 ERA going? This is the problem. This is what's frustrating about it, right? It's a perfect Colorado hits. Minnesota scores 10 runs. Not a problem. It was just one of those days. St. Louis and Miami. I play St. Louis over 9. Probably the same story. I got St. Louis. I got Phillips with a 3 ERA, pitched the 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. I never heard of him. And then St. Louis, Lehigh with a 4.09, pitches a 2-hitter for 5 innings. And then I got 4 guys in the bullpen, and they don't give up a run. So none of the bullpens were giving up runs except for the Boston Yankee one, the one game I bet under. So again, St. Louis, and then we got Oakland, 4-1 to California, and it's the same thing. I'm over 9.5, and I'm seeing these low scores. I'm like, California got 4 runs in the second. Oakland got a run in the fifth, and that was it. And it was Chevalier for Oakland with his 5 ERA. He gives up 7 hits and 4 runs. And then the bullpen with the 5.64 and the 4.01 give up nothing. California, Aldergrady with a 4.85 gives up 5 hits and 1 run in 5 innings. And then we've got 0.00 on the bullpen, 3.52, 4.23, and the guy with the 0.96. So this is why it's tough with betting these 4 and 5 ERA guys. You're expecting not necessarily 5 runs because they're only pitching 4 or 5 innings. You're expecting a few, but you're expecting the bullpen to give up runs. None of the bullpen guys are major leaguers. And that's what's stunning is when the guy with the 5 ERA pitches the 1 inning and gets him out. And this is the problem with the analytics. So they pitch 1 inning. Then why is his ERA 5? If he's so good, why has he got a 5 ERA? That's ridiculous. Anyway, that was yesterday. We win the other free pick, Atlanta. Chris Sale, Robbie Ray, under 7.5, 3-2. First, I thought I lost that one. I thought I had Atlanta. And then I looked at it closely, and it was under 7.5. The Dodgers, San Diego, 4-2. I'm over 8. And then the Yankee, Boston, which I can't believe, 2-0 going into the 8th inning. The guy's got a no-hitter. I figure there's no way I can lose this. I mean, okay, just end it 2-0. Yankees couldn't even get a hit. Nope, we got to go to Chapman and give up 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th to go to the 10th. And of course, in the 10th, we can't just get 1 run. We got to get 2 runs and 3. We got to get 5 runs in the 10th inning. Unbelievable. But that happens. That's why we don't bet too much on baseball, and our focus is football. I get Mahomes the whole game. I don't have to worry about relievers. I don't have to worry about the coach fucking it up too much. unless it's the Lions coach when he keeps going for fourth downs. That's how they fuck you in football. Let's go for two. Let's go for first. I love when the team's down 9 and the guy goes for two. Dude, if you miss, you now get to get 2 scores to do it. If you kick your extra point, you're 1 score away and go to overtime. It's okay. You can go to overtime. Nope, we're down 9. We're going for 2 because analytics says it. Oops, we missed because, of course, we're going to miss because it's probably 10% of the time you get the 2-point conversion when you actually need it. And, of course, now we're down 9 and the game's over. And you're like, what an idiot. That's why all these coaches get fired. They do the analytics crap. All right, first game 6:35 tonight. So let's go through if I can find anything. So I end up losing 4 units because I hit both 3-unit plays. So those 3-unit plays are helping Tampa and Atlanta under. The rest was 2 units. I ended up going 4 and 7, but only losing 4 units because of the 3-unit plays. But I had 9 units. I made 9 units on the 27th. So overall on the weekend, I'm plus 5 units. And were all the plays strong? Yeah. I mean, Colorado goes over. Oakland always goes over. We did hit the over on the pit, and Philly won for us, and Tampa and Atlanta. So we had good picks. It's the Colorado and the St. Louis overs that, and the Oakland over that you scratch. Even the Dodgers, 4-2. Where did they? I'm sorry, they didn't hit. The whole lineup hits. All right, White Sox in Baltimore. Let's see what we got. We got Burke against Boz. We got Baltimore 128 and 9. And, so here's where you got to back up. Don't get confused. Don't be emotional about it. Just sit there and go, okay, look at the game, identify the game, and bet the game, or don't bet the game as you see fit. Sean Burke, on what team is he on? The White Sox. He's 4-1 his last 5. He's his last 6. 7 innings gives up 2 runs. 5 innings gives up 1 run. 4 innings, 3 runs. 4 innings, 4 runs. And his last 2, he's given up 1 run. And, the other problem is, okay, he loses to the Dodgers 7-1. He beats Philly 6-3. 4 innings gives up 3 runs. It's the bullpen coming in. What do we expect from them? These are guys with 4 or 5 ERAs shutting them out. And then Chapman with the 2 ERA gives up 2 runs. It's all average. This is what kills you. That's why we got to go to the streaks and see, this pitcher's won the last 5. We're going to go. And that's how we won Philadelphia and Atlanta with Chris Sale. We got what we thought. And Tampa, we got what we thought. But we really didn't have straight. When I go over 9s like that, it's both pitchers suck. And I got 3, 4 runs, but I need 9. I got 4 or 5 runs. And then the bullpen comes in, and these guys can't hit the bullpen. You just sit there and you just scratch your head. All right. So Sean Burke, his last 6, 7 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 1, 4 innings, 3, 4 innings, 4, 7 innings, 1, 6 innings, 1. Last 2 games were Cleveland and the Yankees. And he lost to the Dodgers 7-1 and beat Philly 6-3. So he's won some pretty good games. At the Yankees and at Philly, he won. But we'll have to start looking more at, did he win at home or did he win on the road? So, the 4-5 is the average. He had 2 bad games in there, the Dodgers and Philly, and then the last 2 he gave up 1 run. In Baltimore, Shane Baz, guy was on Tampa last year. And he wins some, lose some. His last 6, 7 innings, 1 run, 7 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 5 runs, 5 innings, 3 runs, 7 innings, 3 runs, 5 innings, 5. So you would think we either go against Shane Baz or we go over. The total is 9. Baltimore is 128. Shane Baz is giving up a lot of runs. And if we look at Sean Burke one more time, he's won 4 out of his last 5. And 2 runs, 1 run, 3, 4, 1, 1. It's at Baltimore. I don't know. All right. Pitt at Philly. Pitt's minus 105, but I don't like this. It's Philly's minus 103. How the fuck can that happen? If you're minus 105, the other team should be plus points. You can see how the bookies are tightening it. Both teams are favored. That's like betting Kansas City, Denver, and you're laying a field goal with both teams. Wait a minute. How can we lay a field goal? If KC's favored by 3, that means Denver gets 3. Not this bullshit 105. Oh, but you got to lay 103 if you want Philly. Ashcraft against Nola. Pittsburgh, I think, won, and it was high scoring yesterday. This guy's won 5 out of his last 7. Ashcraft, last 6. 6 innings, 1 run, 6 innings, 2 runs. 5 innings, 6 runs, and then 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 1 run. And that was June 6th. That was that week in June when everybody, all the winners lost, all the losers won. Outside of that, he's pretty good. He's actually 1-1-2, 6, 2-2-1. So he's pretty good, this Ashcraft. Aaron Nola, I think he's been hot. Yeah, Aaron Nola's won 5 out of his last 6. And he's won 8 out of his last 10. So he's 8-2, Nola. Yeah, so he's been winning. His last 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, 4 innings, 5 runs. That's the June 7th date. 4 innings, 3 runs, 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs. So he's pitching good. He gave up 3, 6, and 4 earlier. That's why his ERA is high. But lately it's 2.25, 3.32. So he's been winning. Ashcraft. So we can see a low. So Nola with the 5.62 ERA, as I just went through, it's not a 5.62 ERA last 6 games. Same thing with Ashcraft. Hard to go under in Pitt and Philly because they both can hit. And as soon as you start playing the game under, then they start scoring. Nola's pitching well. Ashcraft's pitching well. So they kind of cancel each other out. You ignore this 5.62 ERA. You want to go under, but you can. It's Pitt who can hit and Philly who can hit. And even if you got them 2-0, they're gonna find a way to get to 9. So I'm gonna leave this alone. Both pitchers are pitching well, and I don't know. Detroit at the Yankees. The last team I want to bet on, Detroit. Detroit with a 3-0 lead, and I go, well, they're going to lose it. And I went to the pool, and I came out. It was 3-3, going to extra innings, and then it's 7-5. So here you got 3-0. You figure, I'm safe, 3-0. I didn't bet it, but if I bet it under, I thought I'd be good. No, 3-3. And then of course, I don't know what it is in the 10th inning. You get the guy on second, and next thing you know, 3-3 turns into a 7-5 game. So you're still good at 6 if they just score 1 run. And it mind boggles you because the whole game they're having trouble scoring, and you get to the 10th inning and they give up 4 or 5 runs, and you're just shaking your head. So New York's minus 127.8. KC buys 295 against Carl Weathers 398. Casey Mize has lost 5 out of his last 6. Now, he was injured, so he pitched May 27th and June 17th and June 20th. So we can really look at his last 2. 4 innings, 3 runs, 5 innings, 4 runs, 97 pitches, and 86. So he's giving up runs. The Yankees are injured, and I don't know what they did yesterday. Boston's terrible throwing errors were ridiculous. They had another error in the 10th inning. The guy throws home, and the guy's, there. Like, what are you doing? Let's see. Weathers, he's lost 4 out of his last 5. So both these guys are losers. Last 6, 7 innings shutout, 6 innings, 5 runs, 6 innings, 5 runs, 4 innings, 6 runs, 6 innings, 1 run, 6 innings, 2 runs. So what you think would be an under game with Casey Mize, but he's giving up a lot of runs his last few games. So he's giving up runs. This Paulo Creed guy is giving up 5.56 and then 1 and 2. And he beat Detroit 4-2, and he lost the White Sox 5-1. He has lost 4 out of his last 5. I have no idea. Again, I don't want to take these 50-50 bets. I want to get better than that. All right. The Mets in Toronto. We got Toronto 122, 8.5. Manea 4.50 against Yashevitz 3.60. I think this is a game I can actually bet. Manea has lost 5. He's 2-5 his last 7. Well, at least the team is 3 innings, 1 run, 5 innings, 1 run, 4 innings, 2 run, 6 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 3 runs, 3 innings, 4 runs. And the problem is, he gives up 1 run in 3 innings. And then he goes 4 innings and gives up 2 runs. 3 innings, he gives up 4 runs. So it's hard because you see the 3, but it's only 3 or 4 innings. So it's really not the same. But if the bullpen comes in and shuts you out, you're fucked. Yashevitz, now his ERA was a 2. He's now a 3.6. So he's been a pig. Not much win streak, lose streak. His last 6 innings, 5 runs, 5 innings, 1 run, 5 innings, 6 runs, 5 innings, 5 runs, 7 innings, 3 runs, and 5 innings, 1 run to Houston. All right, so let's go free pick here. Let's go Toronto over 8.5, and we will go 2 units, and that'll be your free pick. I should give every game as a free pick because I'm really good at these free picks. Not so good at the regular ones. No, just joking. All right. Texas and Cleveland. We got Alexander against Messick. Cleveland's 146, 7.5. In that Toronto game, Toronto's 122, 8.5. I'm going right to the pitchers instead of the line. 122, 8.5. So we're going over the 8.5 with the Sevitz doesn't have a 3.6, and Manea's is, he's really bad. Alexander, win some, lose some. Oh, he's a bullpen guy. So his ERA actually is 2.62. And Messick, their starter, he's a lefty. He's pretty good. He's lost 4 out of his last 5, so I take that back. His last 6, 5 innings shutout, 5 innings 1, 5 innings 3, 5 innings 5, 6 innings 2, 7 innings 2. So pretty good. He just had that one bad game against the Yankees. All right. Washington and Boston. Miles McCullough against the Ranger. And the Rangers' 2.85 ERA has been coming down. Miles McCullough, the miler, He's lost one, two, three, four, five, six. He's 2-6 his last 8. Gave up 3 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 6 runs, 4 innings shutout, 7 innings shutout, 6 innings, 5, and 3 innings, 2. The 7 inning shutout was against Seattle. They win 10-1. They beat the Niners 4-3 on that shutout, and then he gives up 5 to Tampa and 2 to the Philly, but he only goes 3 innings against Philly, gives up the 2 runs. Boston, the Ranger. Where's he from? He's Venezuela. He was on the oil platform. The Ranger wins some, lose some. His last 6. 5 innings, 5 runs, 5 innings, 4 runs, 6 innings, 1 run, 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings shutout, 6 innings, 3 runs. And that was against Colorado. So Miles McCullough, they should hit him. After watching Boston yesterday, we know that we're not going to get Chapman, thank God. He sucks. Oh, my God. Throwing hard and throwing strikes are two. I'd rather have a guy who threw strikes than a guy who throws hard. That's what Sonny Gray. He had a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. He's pitching a no-hitter. Chapman comes in with his 102-mile fastball, and he does dog doo-doo. Gives up the 2 runs to let's go to extra innings. Well, it wasn't fair. There was that bad throw from right field that really, that let the 2 runs in. He walked the first 2 guys, but there was a fly ball to right, and the guy, I don't know what, just throw the ball to second. Oh, you don't care if the guy goes from second to third. That's fine. Let him have it. We're up 2, but don't let the guy from first get to second. So why are you throwing the ball? And then where's the backup? There's nobody watching the throw and moving to it. I found that Chapman didn't. He just walked over there. Anyway, so we'll see about the Ranger. Emotional game for Boston. All right. Cincinnati, Milwaukee. We have Milwaukee 135-9, and we do not have our Mizorowski going. We need Mizorowski. We need somebody to bet on. Nick Lodolo, our favorite. This guy really sucks. He's lost his last 4. High ERA. His last 6. 6 innings, 1 run. 6 innings, 3 runs. 5 innings, 4 runs. 5 innings, 2 runs. 4 innings, 7 runs, and 4 innings shutout. And that was against Milwaukee, and he still lost 2-0. 4 innings, he goes 75 pitches. Jesus Christ. This is the problem with it, right? So he goes and gives up 1 run, then 3, 4, 2, 7, and then a shutout. And the shutout's 4 innings, and that's really the problem. So, but he has lost his last 4. Milwaukee gasser. Milwaukee's a 135 favorite, total of 9. Lodolo gives up a lot of runs. Does Milwaukee hit? I don't know anymore. All right, the last 6 for Gasser. He's 2. He won his last 2, lost 4 before that. So his whole rundown is 4 innings, 3 runs, 4 innings, 4 runs, 5 innings, 1 run, 5 innings, 6 runs, 5 innings shutout, 6 innings, 2 runs. So he's had a 6 and a 4, and then he's had a 0, 1, and a 2. Which one do we get? And let's see. He's at home. He beat Cleveland 2-1. The Niners lost 1-0. The Dodgers lost 11-3. So that's irrelevant. The 6 rounds went to Oakland. They lost 7-5. So I want to bet against Nick Lodolo, but I can't trust Gasser. I'm totally like, do I really want to go over or under on any of these games now? It's very frustrating when you've got the starting pitcher does his part, gives up the 3-4 runs, then the bullpen just shut you down. And then, except for the Yankee-Boston game, the one game I bet under, of course. Well, except for the Chris Sale game. But notice how we avoided taking Sale because Robbie Ray had won his last 5 or 6. So they both were on win streaks. So we went under because you can't hit either of them. That one actually came through. Why did the guy take Sonny Gray out? Why is he a manager? What an idiot. This is again the problem. The coaches and the managers are just relying on analytics or algorithms or whatever the fuck you call it, instead of what's really going on. Oh, it's a lefty. We got to pinch it with the righty. He only hits 037. Yeah, but he's right-handed. He won't get a hit because he's only hit left-handers and he's got an 037 batting average. So yeah, I'm really confident he's going to hit this guy. So Milwaukee 135 and 9, Lodolo. I really want to bet Milwaukee here. I'm not going to bet it, but I'm going to write them down. San Diego against the Cubbies. And I can't bet this one because I don't know who the San Diego pitcher is. It's a TBD. Cubbies 149-11. Amana Nega, who I thought just pitched, from Japan, a Mr. Fuji guy. And when he lost 4 in a row, lost one twice. His last 6 innings, 7 runs, 5 innings, 5 runs, 6 innings, 6 runs, 5 innings shutout, 5 innings, 1 run, 5 innings, 4 runs. So this Amana Mega gives up a lot of runs. That's why it's 11, but we don't know the San Diego pitcher, so we'll have to take a pass. Minnesota, Houston. We got Houston minus 135 and 9. We got Zebby Matthews and his 4.59 against Jack Lambert with a 3.31. Zebby Matthews. The Zebber. 6 innings, 3 runs, 4 innings, 7 runs, 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 7 runs, 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 2 runs. Total on games 9. Are they going to hit Jack Lambert? From the Steelers. He's won 5 out of the last 6. He's 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 1 run, 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 innings, 1 run. He's pretty good. His last 5, he hasn't given up the 2. All right. No faith in the Xavier, and no faith in the totals. Miami, Colorado, we can't play. Miami's 137, 11.5. We got Sandy Alcantara from the Dominican Republic. He's won his last 5. It's unfortunate. His last 6, 5 innings, 8 runs, then 7 innings, 3 runs, 7 innings, 1 run, 8 innings, 3 runs, 6 innings, 4, 6 innings, 1. So he goes pretty far. He had a bad 7-inning game, a 7-run game, 6-run game, 8-run game. Otherwise, it's been 3s and 4s. But we don't have a pitcher for Colorado. So Alcantara's 137. He's on a win streak. But what would you do with 11.5 total? Can't do it. The 49ers and Arizona. We got Arizona 129 and 9. Maul for the Niners 5.52 against. I don't know which. It says A. Rodriguez. I think it's E. Rodriguez, the 2.27 ERA. This is really all over the place. Mile. He's 2-5 his last 7. His last 6, 5 innings shutout, 5 innings 4, 5 innings 5, 5 innings 6, 5 innings 3, and 5 innings shutout. The 6 was against Arizona, and the shutout was against Oakland. Go figure that out. So what do we got here? We got the Niners playing Arizona. So mostly Miles going to give up a lot of runs. How he beat Oakland 2-1. Who can hit, I don't know. Now, this says Adrian Rodriguez, and then it says Eduardo Rodriguez. So I don't know. I mean, last year he had a 5 ERA, 2024 5 ERA. This year he's got a 2.27 ERA, 16 games. He's 6-1 his last 7. But I don't have any stats on him. I got the stats, but when it comes to what did he give up, I don't have it. He has won 5 unders in a row. Total on it's 9. Interesting. California and Seattle, and then we got the Dodgers and Oakland. All right, two more games. Um, California at Seattle. Seattle 196, 7.5. Randy Johnson against George General Kirby. Ryan Johnson. I wonder if this is Randy's kid. He lost his first five, and then he got the win. Well, they won the last one. He's kind of a bull. Well, he's like a mix. So 1 inning shutout, 2 innings 3 runs, 2 innings 5 runs, 5 innings 5 runs, 6 innings shutout. Those last two, he went 90 pitches, and he shut out Baltimore, and he gave up 5 to Oakland, and he gave up 5 to Oakland and the Dodgers. So he lost 2 to Oakland, 2 to the Dodgers, and beats Baltimore 5-1. This guy gives up a lot of runs. And the General Kirby, he's 2-5 his last 7, but I don't know what to do with that. The last 6 innings 5 runs, 5 innings 4 runs, 4 innings 5 runs, 6 innings 3, 6 innings 3, 6 innings 2. So this guy definitely gives up runs. Seattle is a big 196 favorite. Again, Johnson doesn't really pitch. He's only pitched twice where he started. Total is 7.5. I think would be over, but I'm scared because they played a whopping 3-1 game with Cleveland yesterday. I would think this game would go over because it's 7.5. But I don't know that I trust can either of these teams hit. LA and Seattle, California. California has 4 hitters, 4 bad, and Seattle 6 hitters and 1 bad. So based on that, which I got to update, you'd think you get runs. Let's see what Kirby. Let me just see his last. Yeah, he's giving up runs. All right. I think we can trust that. And our last game, the Dodgers go to Oakland. The Dodgers minus 107, Oakland minus 101. Good luck with that. Total on the game's 10.5. Good luck with that. Lauer for the Dodgers 488 against Jump. Now, Jin is their ace, I think, but Jump's sitting there at a 206. Maybe he's their ace now. Eric Lauer. Mr. Lauer's won 5 in a row in his last 6. 5 innings, 6 runs. Then he's won the next 5. 6 innings, 1 run, 4 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, 6 innings, 3 runs, 6 innings, shutout. So you can see why his ERA is a little higher. But in the last 5, he's been dynamite against Oakland and Jump. Gage Jump, California, Hulk Hogan guy. He's only pitched 6 games. And this is his first year. He's got a 2.04 ERA. Is that real? That ain't real. 5 innings, 4 runs, 7 innings, 1 run, 6 innings shutout, 5 innings, 3 runs, 7 innings shutout, 5 innings shutout. So he's capable. He had 3 shutouts in 6 of his games. Only 1 game he gave up 4 runs. He's shutting out the 49ers and California and Houston, teams that really don't hit much. And then he gave up 4 runs to Seattle and 3 runs to Colorado. It's mostly been West Coast. Just a second. He's only had one bad game. That was his first game. He gave up 4 runs. Otherwise, it's been pretty calm. 10.5. I think this is our free pick. If we look at Lauer, his last 5 games, 1-2-2-3-0, and this is a 10.5 because Oakland supposedly hits. So here's another free pick. Let's go LA, Oakland under 10.5. Jump's only had one bad game with 4, and that was his first game. Since then, he's had 4 shutouts. And against the Dodgers, Lawyer's given up 1 run or 2 runs his last 5 games. So these guys, the Lawyer 4.88 is not real ERA. Total it is, but not last 5 or 6. And Jump only has a 2.06 ERA. And the Dodgers just played a 2, I had over 8 and they couldn't get there. They got a 4 or something. I think they went 4-2. It was a 6. Now, I know it's in Oakland and Softball City, but let's look at Jump in Oakland, right? Here's Jump scores in Oakland. All right, so at home, loses to Seattle 4-1, beats Colorado 6-4, beats California 5-0. And then the Niners were 2-1 and the Cubbies 2-1. So at home, they had one bad game against Colorado. This is 10.5. So there you go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. And I kind of be leery of the over-under games. Free play was the over in Toronto, 8.5, and now the Dodgers under 10.5. I know it's at Oakland, but I'm looking at these pitchers last 5, 6 games. They've been low scoring, and hopefully that means something. I thought I was having a great day yesterday, but to tell you the truth, if I'm not looking at my picks, I have no idea. I mean, I know 1 or 2 of the games, right? I know I have 1 or 2 of the games. Like I know Rangers Suarez or Cleveland or Tampa or Philadelphia. I know what I did today. I didn't bet those. I didn't bet Philly. That's what gets confusing. Philly Pitt, I love over. They both can hit, and yet both pitchers make it so it ain't so. Let's see. Philly Pitt, Ashcraft, and Nola are both pitching pretty well. It leads to an under, but I can't bet these teams under. The total on the game's 8. Theoretically, I want to go over 8, but theoretically, based on the pitchers, I got to go under. But it comes back to the bullpen. Let's say it's 1-0 going into the 6th inning, and now we get the bullpens. Are the bullpens going to shut them out or give up the 5 runs? And if we, God forbid, we get to the 10th inning, we're really fucked. So that's a game I want to play, but I can't. And this will be interesting when Skeens goes against we're praying it's Skeens against Sanchez, 2 ERA pitchers, and let's get a 7.5 ERA, and that'll be our lock of the month. We're getting into July, so we got one more day of June. Rent due July 1st, which is Wednesday. I'll probably pay my rent tomorrow because I got the money in the bank. What am I waiting for? I got to renew my Teaser King. That's July 10th, so remind me on that. Although I got it written down, I'll probably pay it maybe Friday or Saturday. Well, Saturday's the 4th, so I'll probably play it Monday, the 6th. And that's for my server for Teaser King. Otherwise, that's it. The credit card's an automatic. It's going to be paid on the Friday. College football. So I've been going through Gray Sports Almanac. Mr. Humble, how are you? What's your favorite pick for baseball today? Well, I gave you the free pick. Toronto over 8.5 and the Dodgers under 10.5. So bon appetit on those two. My best play yesterday won Tampa 3 unit and Atlanta with Chris Sale under 7.5. Both of those won. So yeah, I've been pretty good on the free picks. Those are usually my best picks, and I'm only going 2 and 3 units because I find if we look at Saturday, I went 8 and 4 and made 9 units. Picking 12 games, it doesn't matter because it's still you're still either they're good picks or they're not. And if you find another good pick and another bad pitcher, you just go with it. So Blue Jays under, no, Blue Jays over. Dodgers under, Blue Jays over. I'm just looking at the pitchers, and hopefully the managers don't fuck us when they bring in the 5 ERA pitch bullpen like yesterday, and they shut them out. I couldn't believe that one game. What was it? The Colorado game. It's like they give up 4 or 5 runs, and then from the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, the 5 ERA pitchers shut out the other team. Thank you. Wait till play my football. This is nothing. This is little league compared to my football. So, looking at Gray Sports Almanac, Wendy's. I'm going through right now the quarterbacks, and I'm looking at quarterback transfers. So I'm updating the quarterback. So I take a guy like DJ Langway from Florida who sucks, and now he's on, I think, Baylor. And I'm wondering, I'm like, why are you going with this guy? And it's really, he's more of a runner. He's not a thrower. And I don't have any faith. I don't know what happened to Baylor's quarterback. He was really good last year. I don't think he got drafted or he's a free agent somewhere, but Sawyer Robertson was outstanding. And like nobody, you're drafting the guy from Alabama, and you're leaving Sawyer Robertson out there and nobody's picking him up. And you're taking the guy from Penn State who stinks. Now, a few notes. Last year, the Marshall coach was really good and the quarterback. The Marshall coach went to Southern Miss, and I warned you, they're going to be much better. They were like last place, so they're going to be good. And they were good last year because they got the new coach. And they got the quarterback who was like 20 touchdowns and 1 pick, also at Southern Miss, and they had a good year. Well, he's switched again, and the Southern Miss coach, I think, is in the ACC or something. I've written it down. I'll keep you abreast of it, let me tell you. I don't care about the recruiting because it's all bullshit. Michigan, Underwood's the best quarterback in the country. He guy sucks. All right, where are my coaching changes? Okay, here it is, Marshall. The biggest one is James Franklin goes from Penn State to Virginia Tech, so they're going to blow. Penn State gets Matt Campbell for Iowa State. Look for Penn State to win the Big Ten. Kyle Winningham goes to Michigan. Bob Chesney from James Madison. They always have a good program. Is now the UCLA coach. Look for them to be better. Lane Kiffin, of course, goes to LSU. Eric Morris goes from North Texas to Oak State. Look for them to put up points. Where's my guy? Okay, Charles Huff's his name. Charles Huff was great at Marshall, goes to Southern Miss, turns them pretty good. Now he's on Memphis. Circle Memphis. They will be a very live dog for us. This guy can coach. I don't know if his quarterback had any time left. Can't wait for football and basketball to come back. Best time of year. Um, yeah, football is the best, and I nail that. Compared to baseball, the problem with baseball is you have basically six teams. So you think, oh, it's the Yankees. It's not. It's the Yankees with Max Fried versus the Yankees with Steve Schittler versus the Yankees with Apollo Creed today with what's his name, and the Yankees yesterday. And so there's with each pitcher is a different team. And then who do they face makes it a different team. So if they face a righty, they got a lefty team. So it's Max Fried with the lefty team, with Max Fried with the righty team. So you have basically seven teams. You have the five pitchers and the right-handed lineup and the left-handed lineup. That's how stupid the managers are now. And then you got all these minor league bullpen guys with the 5 ERAs that one day they shut you out and the next day they give up 8 runs. And you don't know what you're getting. And they come out for one inning. I mean, this is an embarrassment. They come out for one inning. What is that? You pitch 30 pitches. You're done for the day. Let's go to somebody else. And then you see them lose it in the 10th inning because the guy with the 6 ERA is the only guy left. And they put him in there in the 10th and lose the game. It's mind-boggling how stupid the coaches really are in all sports. Football, let's go for it on 4th and 2. The Lions have the worst coach, right? So they're playing Philly last year, and he went for 4th down against Jalen Carter 5 times, and 5 times they didn't make it. Of course, they lose the game. And you're looking at the coach. Does he not have a brain in this? You really want to go against Philadelphia's defense on 4th and 2, and you really think you're going to get it. Well, analytics says 51% of the time they pick it up. Not against Philadelphia. You gotta micro that. You gotta go team by team. Which team can I go on 4th down? Oh, Arizona, Tennessee, the Jets, the usual suspects. Not against Philadelphia, Kansas City, and Denver or Baltimore. Are you going on 4th down? You out of your fucking mind. And that's where the coach isn't smart enough to coach. He's got to rely on the analytics, and they're doing it in baseball. Oh, it's a lefty. I'm going to pinch hit Ted Williams with Joe Blow, who hits 098 because he's right-handed. And Ted can't hit lefties. We know that. He only hits 400, but he can't hit lefties. Apparently, he almost hit 400 again. I didn't realize that. So anyway, the point of this is Memphis. Charles Huff is the coach from Marshall, who's then the coach from Southern Miss, who's now the coach at Memphis. Look for Memphis to have a really good year. And that's really the basis. So look for LSU. I don't know. There'll be high scoring is all I know. Chesney from James Madison to UCLA. I think that'll be good. Virginia Tech gets James Franklin, but he's stuck. Matt Campbell going to Penn State. Rocco Beck, the quarterback, went with him, and a lot of other transfers. So look for Penn State to actually be good this year. Matt Campbell's a great coach. He won at Iowa State, beating Oklahoma and Texas and all those. He had some very big upsets. Then he'd lose to like Kansas State. But he was a very good coach. He was Brock Purdy's coach, right? Kyle Whittingham was great at Utah. Look for that. And again, Oklahoma State gets the North Texas coach. It'll be explosive. I don't know what their defense will look like, but they'll be a great overbet. Utah gets Morgan Scalley, the Utah defensive coordinator, is now the head coach. They had a great defense. They will have a great defense, and I love their quarterback in Devin Dampier. Really explosive runner, but he actually can throw the ball, not like C.J. Stroud, who can't throw the ball. Jim Mora goes to Colorado State. He did pretty good at Connecticut. So that'll be an upgrade for Colorado State. And they're in that conference, so we can make a lot of money on them. And let's see. So Memphis, we talked about. Iowa State gets Jimmy Rogers, the Washington State head coach. We'll be betting against Iowa State. But that's the thing. You see them as the team. Oh, Iowa State, they had some good upsets. Yeah, but the coach is gone. And this coach they replaced him with sucks at Washington State. Washington State replaced him with their coach with Kirby Moore, the Missouri offensive coordinator. Yeah, I don't think we'll be betting Washington State. That's a terrible hire. Oregon State, Jamarcus Shepard, an Alabama assistant head coach. No, thank you. Alabama doesn't look too good. Uh, let's see. Stanford sucks. Tavita Pritchard, Commanders quarterback coach. You're going to make a quarterback coach your head coach. Stanford might not win a game this year. That's a terrible hire. The quarterback coach? You're going with the quarterback coach to be the head coach. It doesn't work. Look at Spagnuolo. Great defensive coordinator, not a head coach. Look at Jim Schwartz. Same thing. Great defensive coach, not a head coach. Let's see. This is an interest. South Florida gets Brian Hartline. The Ohio State, I don't know what HC means. He wasn't the head coach, so I don't know. Some coach. James Madison gets Billy Napier from Florida. He was really good at Lou Lafayette and then not so good at Florida. A lot of these coaches, like Scott Frost, great at like South Florida or UAB. Where was he at? Central Florida, UCF. But he had a great quarterback. And then he goes to Nebraska and he wants to. Joe Burrow goes there. I'll be your quarterback. Now I want to make you my safety. And now you just wonder, is Scott Frost an idiot? You had Joe Burrow knocking on your door and you want to make him a safety. The best quarterback we've seen in the last 10 years, outside of name Mahomes, you want to make him a safety. You have no idea of talent, do you? Wow, I couldn't believe when I read that. And let's see. All right. So then I looked into the top receivers, the top quarterbacks, and I just shake my head. This is where I start putting doubt into their picks and why I use my picks. So when we look at the All-American team, Dante Moore is not the All-American quarterback, and Julian Saban at Ohio State is not the second. These are not the top two quarterbacks. Then they go into some defense. Top quarterbacks. Here's their list. Oh, man, my angel keeps knocking over. All right. Dante Moore is not number one. Just Julian Saban is not number two. Arch Manning is not a top 10. Chambliss, all he can do is run. I think Darren Mensah, CJ Carr from Notre Dame, Sam Levitt. I don't know why he left Arizona State for LSU. Mateer sucks. Maya Villa is very good at USC. Messmaker is great from North Texas. Desmond Williams, I don't know. Washington, he was supposed to be really good, but I didn't see it. Josh Hoover is going from TCU to Indiana, so look for Indiana to be just as strong this year. Hoover's very good. Noah Fafita at Arizona is good. Bryce Underwood, he won't even win the starting job. The other Carr, CJ Carr's son, there were Lloyd Carr's kids or grandkids. So Lloyd Carr at Michigan has grandkids. That's the Notre Dame quarterback and the Michigan quarterback. Gunnar Stockton's okay at Georgia. Byron Brown from South Florida is pretty good. I don't know how he'll do at Auburn. Devin Dampier is top 10 from Utah. Lenore Seller, they brought in a great offensive coordinator, Broyles' kid. So you remember Art Broyles invented the run and shoot and everything. And his kid's been coaching, I think, Baylor or TCU, and they've been lighting it up. Is now the OC at South Carolina. Look for the score. They'll be like Tennessee. South Carolina plays Tennessee. It's a lock over already. Kevin Jenkins at SMU. CJ Bailey, I'm not impressed with him at NC State. Marcel Reed, choked in the Texas game, choked in the Miami game. Rocco Beck, I think Penn State will be very good with Matt Campbell and his quarterback, and you got a pretty good defense. Look for Penn State to have a chance to win the Big Ten. We'll see, but they'll be right up there with Ohio State and Indiana. And Bear Bachmeier from BYU, he's really good. Don't kid yourself. Don't sleep on BYU and Utah. They will be very tough teams, as will Texas Tech. I'm not going to get into the running backs or the receiver. Who the hell knows? And then I got into the unit rankings. So the best backfields. So they go offense and defense. The best backfields and Ole Miss #1 was Chambliss and Kewan Lacey, who's a good running back, I guess. We'll have to see. They didn't play anybody last year. And when they got in against Miami, Miami killed them. We'll miss Reuben Bain, but Miami's got a good quarterback, and we love their running back, Fletcher. Darian Mensah was at Tulane, very good. At Duke, very good. And now he's at Miami. So I like Miami. I think my top 10 is going to be I think Georgia bounces back this year. Alabama, I don't know what's going on with them. LSU, they'll have a good offense. I don't know if Lane Kiffin's all that defensively. Ole Miss will have a strong offense. I don't know how they're going to be defense. Ohio State, always tough. And they got a good quarterback, and they got the kid receiver, I think Smith. So look for Ohio State. Just a second. Ohio State's always tough. Texas, I don't buy Arch Manning. When he has to throw, he can't. He wants to run too much, and that's not a good quarterback. I need a quarterback who can throw the ball. Right? Devin Dampier runs better than he does, but he's a much better thrower. And just because his name is Manning, if this is the first pick, whoever gets them, probably the JETSs, will be betting heavily against them. Oregon, I don't know. I'm not. Dante Moore sucked at UCLA. You're telling me he's good? All right, Bo Nix got better when he went to Oregon, but that's Dylan Gabriel doesn't look all that at Cleveland. LSU will be good with Sam Leavitt, the Arizona State quarterback. He's a good one. Georgia's got to get pissed after losing. Notre Dame, again, a weak schedule. I do like C.J. Carr. Utah's always dangerous. Devin Dampier, and a great defense every year. USC, good offense. Maivia is back. I like Maivia, the quarterback, but no defense. Top offensive line will just Indiana, Texas, Ohio State, Texas Tech. Excuse me. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you in a minute. Hey, what are you doing?
I just sent you a text. I'm in class.
Oh, okay. Call me when you're done.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, read your text. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I just sent her a text. I'm in class. I'll call you when I'm done. She calls me twice. All right. Sorry. Offensive lines, and these are critical. Indiana, Texas, Ohio State, Texas Tech, USC, Georgia, Notre Dame, whatever. Defensive lines. Now, this is where it's important. Oregon, I don't know, Texas, Georgia, Miami, LSU, Michigan, Indiana. Indiana's in a lot of these that have never been there before. Linebackers, Georgia, Texas, Indiana, USC, which I doubt, Oregon, I doubt, LSU, I really doubt. Miami, and Texas Tech. So Texas Tech defensively is they're not in his defensive line. They are in number 8, number 9 in linebackers, and they are not in defensive backs. What we're looking for, we bet Texas Tech under. We locked them against Utah and BYU, and we won both of those games. And we had them in the playoffs. We had a lock against Ohio State. I believe they played Ohio. It was either them or Miami. And that's what we're looking for is the pristine defense. So when we look at it, is Oregon really this strong defensively? They're a 1, they're a 5, and a 4. Linebackers, and defensive backs. Are they really this strong? Texas, no, they're normally loaded defensively. Miami's a 4 defensive line, an 8 linebacker, and a 5 defensive back. So we'll be betting them under or just to win a lot. And again, in college, you've got your Miami playing North Texas State or something. So it's the Miami Notre Dame game when we get Miami as the dog that we're going to jump on it. Good quarterback, great running back, and a killer defense. And Notre Dame can't handle that. Where are we at? 140. Michigan will be interesting. Let's see Michigan's. The 6th defensive line, but no linebackers, and the 9th defensive back. Why do I look at him? Kyle Whittingham, great defensive coach at Utah. They always had a great defense. So I look for Michigan to have a great defense. I don't know where their linebackers are at. But again, we want to take advantage of the defense. How much money did we win on Georgia that year? I locked Georgia 8 times under and won every one of them when they gave up like 7 points a game. That's what we like. That's where we make a fortune on. Those are the keys, right? You get that. North Texas, okay, they're going to score a lot, but they don't have a defense. We bet them over and clean up. The Georgia, we bet under. The Ohio State, a lot of unders, but they can score. We want the team that has no offense with this great defense. So we will see. Notre Dame, we don't want to bet them under because they can score, but maybe we'll see. Well, Oregon, again, I don't like their quarterback. Just because they can run a little bit doesn't make them good quarterbacks. It makes them running backs. They get hurt and you're fucked. I think Penn State's the sleeper here with my Matt Campbell from Iowa State. That's a great hire. Getting rid of James Franklin. You watch. Penn State will be in the playoff next year with Rocco back, and Matt Campbell is a great coach. I thought the Lions had him instead of Dan Campbell. They'd have won to the Super Bowl with Matt Campbell. He wouldn't have went for 4th down against the Niners twice. All right. So then we get into the conferences, and it lists the conference, and it lists the best team, Navy, Army, and it gets down to Charlotte sucks. Now I look at both. I want to find my Z teams, Charlotte and Rice, and I want to find my A teams, Navy, Tulane, Memphis. I think Memphis will be right up there. So that's what I'm doing now as I'm going conference by conference. I'm adjusting the quarterbacks, and I have all the stats. So when a quarterback plays for Alabama and he transfers to Georgia, I just pull the name in, and I get all his stats that he was last year. So I've done that. So I'm in the middle of that. There's so many that I got half of that done. And that's what I'll be working on after I go get Alyssa. And that's what we're looking at. So that's what we have. So I'm about halfway. So I will just keep reading this. And what I do is I go conference by conference. So this is the American Conference, and we're familiar with them, with Army and Navy. And I'm just as interested in UTSA and Memphis as I am with Tulsa and Rice, because I want to know who to bet against. Rice is my bitch, and I find my bitch in each conference. That's why I play so many games. There's so many conferences, but it's the thesis. Where's the A team? Where's the Z team? Who's got the weak defense that we want to bet against? Who's got the good offense and who's got the under defense? And so we find each league has a few bad defenses and a few great defenses. And so what we want is when we get the Memphis playing Rice. Rice has they give up 30 points a game. Memphis scores. And then that's our big locks because Memphis is going to, there's nothing Rice can do to stop that Memphis offense. Memphis wins 52-0. And everybody's like, how did that happen? And me and you are like, yeah, we knew that was our lock, 52-0, because they had no defense. The key to winning, betting on football, is to find the defense. When you find a strong defense, you don't fuck with them. You don't bet against them. You don't take Rice against Georgia because they ain't going to score. And so you avoid playing the strong defenses because that's what kills you. Just like the strong pitchers in baseball, only it's different because this is the same team every week. That's the biggest defense, football and baseball, is I got the same team. I got Joe Montana, Tom Brady, the whole game every week. And in baseball, I got 6 different pitchers, and you're looking at them. That's why you see, his last 5, well, he gave up 0-0-1-6-5. Like, what the fuck? What kind of pitcher is this? And it depends who he's playing. And that's what we got in football. We always have Mahomes. We always have Joe Burrow. And that's what we like about it. So here, what we're looking for in college, especially the Sun Belt and the MAC, we get these teams with good, really weak defenses, and then we just pound against them. And we look for there's always an A team in each conference, and we find the Z teams, and there's always a Z team in each conference, and we just pound it. So a lot of my bets are betting against the Z team in the MAC or the Sun Belt or the Conference USA or whatever. That's what we're looking for. That's why I have 10 bets, and they're all good bets because it's the same thesis. We're betting the Z team, the terrible defense in each conference, especially these conference games, because they need to win them. These teams are trying to win the conference, trying to get to the playoff. And that's what we're doing. That's why we like Daggio so much. He beat Alabama. He should have beat Texas. He beat Missouri. So that last game, he killed Tennessee. That's why I can't understand why he didn't get drafted. The guy, what do you want from the guy? He gave you the results that you're looking for. What the fuck are you doing not playing him? Not drafting him? You want to have C.J. Stroud or Daggio Pava? I'd take Daggio in a heartbeat. Oh, he's too small. Well, C.J. Stroud's not 6 feet either. And he throws a lot of picks in big games. Daggio doesn't. So how the fuck do you think he beat Alabama when they had a good defense? So you keep an eye on the coach. The coach is the driver. That's why I like Penn State, because of the new coach is very good, because he did well at Iowa State. And for him to do well at Iowa State, which is nothing, it's just like the Kansas coach. You win at Kansas, holy shit. They're very explosive, same coach. So that's what I'm looking at. Did anything change? The coaches are still there. The quarterbacks, do I still have the same quarterback, or do I got a new one? Now at North Texas, this Messmeister is now they went to Oklahoma State. Well, they're going to light it up because they got the North Texas coach who lights it up, and he's got his quarterback. So look at Oklahoma State to become Baylor and TCU, who scores. I'm worried about Baylor with DJ Langway is not a good quarterback. He sucked at Florida, and what's he going to do there? I do like the Utah and BYU quarterbacks, so we'll keep that and their killer defenses. So I'm looking for the strong defenses, and I'm looking for the weak defenses. I'm looking for the good quarterbacks, and I can tell the good quarterback from the bad one. Devin Dampier, Maivia at USC. I am not sold on Dante Moore or Arch Manning. Arch Manning against Ohio State didn't do anything. Oh, but he beat, who did he beat? Oh, Baylor. Well, they had no defense, or Kansas State or whatever, whoever he beat. He's not good. Show me something. But I am not betting on Dante Moore. Let's take a look at, what was it, the Miami game and the Texas Tech game. Whoever Oregon played, got killed. He to the first no against Indiana, right? And Oregon in the first pass, pick six. Second pass, another pick. He threw 5 or 6 picks against Indiana. That's Dante Moore. You want to bet on him? Good fucking luck. Uh, Now Mendoza will not be all that for the Raiders. Not yet. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I'm not sold on him. He was not the number one pick. Reuben Bain was the number one pick. And then Bailey from Texas Tech was the number 2 pick. It's like Lawrence Taylor against Phil Simms. Who would be the first pick? It would be Lawrence Taylor. But they took Phil Simms. You're like, you took Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor was out there? Are you out of your mind? And that's basically what they did. They could have had Reuben Bain and they took Mendoza. Like, you got to replace Crosby. He's obviously his knee's bad that he couldn't make the Baltimore team. What the fuck are you doing? So anyway, that's what you got to be careful of. So anyway, so with that, that's what I'm going through now. So I told you the coaches. So we will go through conference by conference the more I study. So I do a conference a day, maybe 2, but now they're so big. I mean, the American is 14 teams, but you get the ACC is like 17 teams. So what should be 10, 11 teams, I can go through 2 conferences and now 17 teams. And I'm really looking for the Z team as much as I'm looking for the A team when I'm doing this. So I have my stats and I move the quarterback and I change his team. So he's at Utah, and now he's at Michigan. So I put in the thing and then it automatically updates to the Michigan, and then I see the quarterbacks in there. And there's one team, I can't remember, their quarterback's I think TCU. They've taken the quarterback they're going to use is from Harvard. Fucking Harvard. Are you seriously? You want a Harvard quarterback to run the TCU offense? Really? Oh, this will be interesting. But it'll be better than Baylor going with Langway. He won't last. And what happened to Sawyer Robertson, one of the top 5 quarterbacks, and Dagiopava? And I can't figure out the draft. They're not taking the best quarterbacks. And then the ones they take suck. The Rams didn't get a bargain. They drafted him way too early. Mendoza's not the number 1 pick. They drafted Drew Allard from Penn State. He sucked. As soon as he got hurt and they went into the backup was great. I'd rather have the backup than Drew Allard. But he won't be there because they're going with Rocco Brack from Iowa State will be their starter. And I'm sure he's better than the Penn State. So this will be interesting because Penn State always has good linebackers. Even way back to the Packers, Dave Robinson, Penn State. Jack Ham, Penn State. Matt Millen. It was just always these Penn State linebackers. The guy in the Giants now. Micah Parsons, I believe, is Penn State. They just, I don't know what it is. They draft linebackers. Not much else, no quarterbacks, but we will see. So that's where I'm kind of at with this. I'm in the middle now, and we'll talk about, and then I'll grade the teams as best as I can. Week 1, I will have picks, and they will be good picks, but there'll be more, Penn State, Utah. It'll be the cream. We'll bet the good Messmeyer at Oklahoma State. We'll bet them over. And, a couple of years ago, I found Dagiopava at New Mexico State. We hammered them. I locked them week 1. I had Dagiopava because he had a really good year, and then he came back, and he had like 30 touchdowns and 3 picks, and they won like 10, 11 games. New Mexico State hadn't been to a bowl game. They're winning 11 games because of Dagiopava. And then he goes to Vanderbilt, and we start betting the shit out of Vanderbilt. So you want to find your players. And it ain't Dante Moore, and it is not I'm questioning the Washington quarterback, and the Michigan quarterback sucks. Underwear, you got to be kidding. So we're looking for different variables. It starts with the coach. It then goes to the quarterback. It then goes to the defense. So we look at our strong defenses from last year and see if they'll be there. Now, Miami, Reuben Bain left, but they'll probably have a good one. Texas Tech, they'll just buy more players. So we'll keep an eye on them. And then, and that's it. We'll just go from there. So that's the name of the game, is you have to figure out the variables. And like I tell you with inflation and gold, why do we buy gold? What is inflation? Well, inflation's printing the money and making it worth nothing. That's what inflation's got nothing to do with prices. Prices are done by the market. As I yelled at the Fago guy, if you price it too high, nobody will buy it. Well, price is going up. Yeah, you're a moron. Shut the fuck up. You're in the presence of a Austrian economist. Shut the fuck up and learn. No, I'm bothering him. Oh, that bothers me. But anyway, that's the point. You understand the why. Why do we buy gold? Because they can't print it and it can't lose its value. They try to manipulate it, but it's all bullshit. Even this 4,000 isn't real. It's really about 10, 15,000. And China, and as Pat tells us in Singapore, they're buying the shit out of it. So it's not like there's no demand, and it's worldwide. It's not just the U.S. gold, it's the whole world, and all the BRICS countries are buying it. So if you understand why you're betting football, it's the coach, it's the quarterback, it's the defense. Why are we buying gold? Because they can't print it, and it can't lose its value, and the dollar's being printed to death. The dollar has no value. So basically, we got to get out of the dollar because it has no value. Where do we go? We go into gold and silver because you can't print it. You can't inflate it. You can do it with paper, but we don't care. We're only interested in the physical. And it eventually will go to 10, 15,000. As the guy said, he's looking at options of 20,000 in December or fourth quarter, 10, 15, 20,000. Now that's real. Those are options. That's how you control that's what the price is. So if they're looking at 20, all the banks are running in and buying gold. They're buying the shit out of it. But when a bank buys from another bank, it's just like a mantle card being sold for $100,000 on eBay. It doesn't change the value. It just changed the owner. So when gold gets sold between central banks, the value wouldn't. But right now the value is controlled by the options. And we know that's bullshit. And we know it's the only place to be. But yet most people don't, like the Fago guy. Buy gold. Why would I buy gold? I have my money in Bitcoin. Yeah, how's that doing? Oh, yeah, 59,000. All right. So, free pick. Baseball, Toronto over 8.5, and the Dodgers under 10.5. Based on the pitching, the Dodgers, I'm scared because they hit, but not yesterday they didn't. And Toronto, they're just two lousy pitchers. It's Toronto against the Mets. Manea with the 4.50, Yashevitz with the 360s. They're both like 5.0s. And 8.5 is very low. So I'm looking for that to go over. Let's look at for our gold. Gold 40.21 and silver right around 58 where we started from. We started class at 40.22 and we're ending class at 40.22. The 10 o'clock drop, which is automatic every fucking day, taking it from 40.50 to 40.15, and then it's come back a little. Again, the U.S. is just selling it because they're too stupid to buy it. At least the options. Again, these are options, JP Morgan, price fixing this. This is not the free market buying, like everybody's selling gold now. This is not, nobody's selling. Nobody is sold. This is strictly paper, and there's 4.3 million tons of paper gold versus 200,000 tons of physical gold. And that's a huge difference in amount of gold, and that's why we buy the paper or the physical. Do not buy paper. Not in the safety deposit box. Buy the physical. You can't lose. It'll go up. You'll make money in the price going up. And the bigger kicker is you won't lose money holding monopoly money, right? Well, I got this. Yeah, it's worth 1 cent, if that, right now. So keep that in mind. Take that, shove that up your ass, Fago guy. All right, so that's where we're at. 2 hours. Okay, I got to call Alyssa. Questions or comments, please let me know. If you want, you can email me. If you want to buy baseball, it's only $25 for the whole week. You can see I give 6, 7. I go through my results every day. I give you a couple of free picks, which you would get if you bought the $25 for a week. I know there's a few people who are interested in my baseball, but I haven't seen them in a while. But they do buy the football. And so I highly recommend, is now that I've kind of figured out baseball, it's a little different than football with all the pitchers change. Sometimes the bullpen's good, sometimes it's bad. It's very inconsistent. It's all averages, where football is not. It's we're betting Mahomes, and either he throws touchdowns and no interceptions, or he doesn't. And very rarely does a Mahomes throw 3 interceptions in a game. Not going to happen. So that's it. So I live at www.tzaking.com. And good luck. And we'll be going through college football as we go. I'll update more of the quarterbacks, and we'll start looking at conferences very soon. July 4th is Saturday. Rent is due Wednesday, so be careful with that. So I'm not going anywhere for July 4th. I did look at like apartments in Amsterdam or some of these European. Romania is probably a good price. Very inexpensive. Romania, Bulgaria. I like Romania better. Very, very. I've been there a couple times, and a lot of beautiful girls there. That's all I can say. They all have that dark look, the dark eyes, and they're all like, they understand that they want to be nice and thin. Unlike the U.S. girls who are chubby chup toys, and that's it. But that's where you want to go. Super Salian Redby. God, I'm just going to call you Super. Question: which international teams and fans do you enjoy watching the most at the World Cup in the United States? I don't really watch the World Cup. I don't bet on it. I really don't know too many players. To me, I don't have really the time or the interest to get into the World Cup. In other words, I got to follow soccer whenever. And I know Germany usually has a good team, and Brazil with Pele, and Spain and Europe has a lot of, England has a lot of good teams, but I really don't get into it. I find that which teams and fans, see, to me, you get a bigger kick out of going to a Michigan-Ohio State game or these playoff games. That's more passionate. Soccer, we don't understand. Our soccer team sucks, and we don't care about it. We just talk football and baseball. That's what's exciting for us. Soccer to me it's a poor man's game. You have one ball and 30 kids, 15 on each team, and they kick it back and forth. We have higher level golf, baseball, football, basketball, and then soccer. So it's not a big sport here. We really don't care about it. We care more about the NFL and college football and maybe even baseball. Basketball is all fixed, so we don't care about that. So there's many options here. I can go golfing. Most of these countries, they can't. So they play soccer because they only need one ball. So I really have no interest as far as other countries. I don't know. I don't really watch it. I just know Germany's got a pretty good team. Like I said, Brazil. I don't know. It's big in South America and it's big in Europe, and mostly because they don't have the other sports. Russia's got hockey. Some of Europe's got basketball. Nobody's got football. Nobody's got baseball. So super. I love seeing this Norwegian fans. That I enjoyed. That I was watching the golf yesterday, and the Norwegian fans were chanting. That I liked very much. Also, they do it at the World Series of Poker. When the Aussie won, they kept going Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. That I enjoyed very much. And then some of the Norwegians and the Finns have their little slogans. That I like. I like the passion, but I can't tell you what soccer. I just don't watch soccer. I watch poker ahead of soccer. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's not what I bet on. My interests are football first, baseball second, basketball a little, but it's too much. And these guys sit out. It's extremely difficult to bet. Where baseball, they're not sitting out, and football, they're certainly not sitting out. It's once a week. So thanks for the question, but yeah, I don't. Now football, Super Bowl, yeah, the playoffs, yeah, these rival Michigan, Ohio State, yeah, those are. You should go to a Michigan, Ohio State game. You want to see passion much higher than any soccer game. So with that, I got to go. I got to give Alyssa a call. I will see you tomorrow. Please email me, www.teaserking.com. Again, you want my baseball picks, go to teaserking.com and go to the purchase picks, and baseball will be 25 for a week. And I will see that I got paid, and I will send you the games. So anyway, that's what's going on. So have a great day. Have a great July 4th if you're an American. And even if you're not, have a great July 4th. Good luck in your soccer, and I hope your team wins. And otherwise, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.